Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I think there's a difference between a nerd and a geek, and probably both.
I call myself a nerd all the time.
Heck freaking yeah, I do. I am quite the nerd.
I consider myself a nerd at sometimes. I do things that are nerdy.
Oh yeah, I have a lunchbox that is the X-Files, and every shirt that I own that's not a teacher shirt is something related to any fandom that I'm interested in. I am one D&D game short of not having any friends. Oh yeah, so a nerd. I'm so excited! Yeah, so a nerd is someone who has interests that have kind of been pigeonholed as, oh gosh, I wanted to use the word nerd in the definition, but something kind of geeky, things that mainstream people might not be interested in.
Well, I think a nerd is just someone who enjoys activities other people find to be necessarily not part of the norms.
I think a nerd can be anyone who like focuses on one subject and like becomes like obsessed with it, especially things that people aren't used to like liking. It's not normal, it's the atypical thing, and this person like loves it dearly.
You know the stuff. Like, you know when the newest Marvel movie is going to come out, or you know just about everything about your favorite superhero or favorite character.
A nerd is anyone who I would assume to be studious, focused on grades.
Nerds are people that love awesome things. They love to learn. I think they love fantasy, anything epic and dragons, or just loving to do a math problem, that feeling you get when you get the final answer and you've got it.
I really like to nerd out about books, comic books.
My thing is I like to look at the minor characters and give them backgrounds.
So I may or may not be in chess club. I don't think that makes me nerdy, but common culture says otherwise.
And then I also play a game called Magic, and basically what that game is a card game where you take different cards and use a one-on-one duel, or it can be a one-on-two duel.
All the heavy hitters, Doctor Who, the X-Files.
But I still love to play video games. My husband and I both have way too expensive Renaissance fair costumes that we make sure we wear every chance we get. I've been in multiple Dungeons and Dragons groups, and I have one that I'm kind of in on and off online right now.
So I'm not the only one in this school who plays Dungeons and Dragons. But basically Dungeons and Dragons, a lot of people think it's like a board game. It's not. It's a dice game.
Mario and anything video game related, anything RPG related.
Right now I'm really hooked on Black Panther, and I'm learning more about him before the new movie comes out.
Anything fantasy and imagination, I just love all of that.
Some other board games we play is called Axis and Allies, which is a World War II strategic-based game.
Pokemon. Just like, if it could be judged, I probably like it.
It all started with like looking at characters, and then I watched movies, so I kind of did it myself with some help from the internet, and now it's more with my brother, his friend, and me.
And I just think it's a natural curiosity and wanting to get better at things that helped me learn and identify what I thought would be fun.
My dad and he liked fantasy too, so we started out playing video games together. So I think it really started early on, and there's so many good fantasy books that I loved reading as a kid.
So the way that I found almost all of the things that I like are because all of my friends are lame, and also nerds.
I don't think they're looked at as negative as they used to be. I think people have like accepted it more as the years go on. I feel like it's gotten better.
The word nerd almost seems to have like a negative connotation to it in like any society when we're like, you're a nerd.
So yeah, I mean, I'm sure that people use it to hurt other people, but how can it hurt you when it is the thing that you like, you know?
I guess when I think of stereotypically the people that would consider being a nerd a bad thing, they probably enjoy things that I would not enjoy too.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think culture today and society really has been putting a lot of negative connotation on nerds themselves, on people who could be perceived as nerds. I think that being a nerd is good not just for grades, but also for society.
I think being considered a nerd is not a bad thing nor necessarily a good thing. It's just something that some people are and some people aren't. If you're a nerd, that's perfectly fine. It just means you enjoy things that people prefer to consider out of the norm because of this society that we've created.
I just think that life is better when you do what you enjoy and try new things and don't worry about what anyone else is going to think about you, because ultimately if someone judges you for being a nerd, they probably are not having as much fun, and if they would give it a chance, they would probably enjoy it too. So
Recently, it's sort of a comeback. It's being reclaimed by people who are like, yeah, I am a nerd and I love this thing. And you're gonna hear me brag about how much I know about it.
But man, if being a nerd means that you and your friends get together and discuss things that you're passionate about or reading a book, then sign me up.